Okay, good evening, back again, Fireburns Within channel. This is a list video. I haven't done a list video for a good while, so I thought let me do a list video. I've been doing a little bit of research and thinking a bit, deciding on my top 10. This top 10 is my favourite UK power metal, traditional heavy metal bands since the millennium. So every band here has started since the year 2000. No pre-2000 bands. So yeah, these are my top 10 in reverse order. In 10th place is Neuron Spoiler. They were started. The band started in 2009, so 11 years ago. They've had 3 albums, and they're just about to release a new album. I think just very soon. Neuron Spoiler. I really like these guys. I've seen them live. I think 2 or 3 times. They play London a lot. They used to pre-lockdown. All this talk is pre-lockdown, don't forget. Well, you already know that anyway. But yeah, I mean, I find them really cool. They're like the guitarist, David Del Cid, I think his name is. He's Spanish, I think. He's really cool. Great chops, great riffs, great solos. He really looks cool as well. He's sort of like he's got this kind of wacky look. The singer, I think, is an Indian chap. Don't know his full name, but I think he uses the name JR something or other. He's pretty cool. He's got quite a wild voice. Like, he can go high. He's mainly a high-pitched singer. There's a lot of bass in this band, so there's a lot of Iron Maiden thing going on. Very cool Neuron Spoiler. In 9th place is a band from the north. I forget where they're from exactly. They're from the north somewhere. They're called Sellsword. They've got 2 albums. They started up in 2013. Their first album I haven't really heard. The second one I really like a lot. It's really epic. Baritone vocals. The singer is like very sort of low pitched. I like that kind of low, smooth voice. No high histrionics. If I'm not wrong, he's actually left the band, which is a shame. But they deserve their place in my top 10. Sellsword, based on their second album alone. In 8th place, I'm going to Northern Ireland and Storm Zone. These guys have 7 albums. It's quite a lot of albums. They started in 2004, 16 years ago. And they've released 7 albums. So they've been consistently releasing power traditional metal albums. They've released one this year. It's really cool. I forget the title. Ignite the Machine, something like that. I think it's Ignite the Machine. All their previous albums are really high standard as well. Very melodic, very catchy. The singer, he's what makes the band stand out. His name is John Harbinson. But his nickname is Harv, so they write John Harv Harbinson. I'm not quite sure why, but I need to investigate that. Maybe someone calls him Harvinson and instead of Harbinson, and then it's Harvard stuck. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up now. Anyway, Storm Zone is really cool. I mean, they've sort of gone through a little bit of a transformation. Maybe at the beginning they were a little bit melodic rock. They were sort of borderline, and now they're sort of more metallic sounding, which is really cool as well. In 7th place, I'm coming back to the UK, and Dark Forest, who were brought about in 2002, established 18 years ago, a long time ago actually. They've released 5 albums since then. An album this year, very cool album. They've had a couple of different singers along the way. I think they've had 3 different singers, if I'm not right. If I'm not wrong, I mean, if I'm not right. If I'm not wrong. Um, there's one of their singers I absolutely love. He left the band after one album, and they got the new guy. The new guy wasn't the middling guy wasn't that good, and then they got the more recent guy, and he's really good. I mean, I really like Dark Forest now. I think they're very melodic, very English sounding. You know, the sound of the band is 100% English. Like, it's got a Maiden flavour. It's got an oldie worldy flavour. I mean, it's just like a medieval type power metal or traditional metal band. Very cool, very cool. In sixth place, we've got Dream Troll, who were invented or who were established in 2015, just 5 years ago. They've got 2 albums. Their most recent one is awesome, second to none. It's so catchy, so melodic. Unfortunately, again, they've lost that singer. They've got a new singer. I've actually seen them for the first time with the new singer. I never saw them with the original singer. I saw them pre-lockdown again. Just, I think it was January, was it, or early Feb? I can't remember. I need to look. Saw them in a 3 or 4 band bill at this club in. It's a place I've never been to actually. Is it? Where was it now? Archway? Yeah, I think it was at Archway. Anyway, digress. Dream Troll is so cool. I look forward to their new stuff. They're actually writing out an album. I see their Instagram and Twitter feed quite a bit. Very cool band. I mean, I love that album, second to none. I mean, there's 5 bands ahead of it, but I mean, Dream Troll is awesome in itself. The melodies that they create with the riffs are just supremely catchy. But in 5th place and ahead of Dream Troll, this band is sort of like slightly sticks out from this crowd because it's quite thrashy as well, and it started out as out and out thrash and slowly became more melodic, and I would almost call them just a power traditional metal band now, and it's Savage Messiah. I've seen these guys quite a long way back. I can't remember who they were supporting, but must be at least 5, 6, 7 years ago. They were created as a band in 2007. They were really thrashy at the beginning, very much like Megadeth. Even frontman Dave Silver, you know, he tries to hide it, but when you see him up there, you can see the Mustaine style of singing. Well, not so much the singing, but the way he looks and the way Savage Messiah sounds. It's very Megadeth-ish, you know. It's got that vibe. But now they've completely moved away from that. Now they're sort of like a traditional heavy metal band. They've got awesome albums. The Fateful Dark, that's an awesome album. But my favourite is the most recent, Demons, from last year. I love that CD, that album. It's a killer. I mean, it's so melodic, so catchy. Best vocals from Dave. Just a great album. Savage Messiah. I think they deserve a much bigger name in the English metal scene. Very cool band. But there's still 4 bands ahead of them. In 4th place, going all the way back to 2001 when they first came into being, we're talking about Power Quest, the band formed by Steve Williams from Southampton, I believe he's from. Very cool band, very melodic. At the beginning, they were sort of like very happy melodic power metal, and then slowly they morphed a little bit, got different singers. I love the album where Chiti Somapala from the Sri Lankan, well, he's a German-based Sri Lankan power heavy metal singer who's in quite a few different bands. He joined the band and they released what I considered at that time their best album. And then more recently, Ashley Edison joined the band from Dendera, who, well, Dendera nearly actually made my list, but they're slightly outside of my top 10, but they're sort of quite a thrashy band as well. So I didn't pick them. But Power Quest is awesome. They sort of called it quits for about 4 or 5 years. Then they got back together. Steve Williams, he got the urge to bring back the band with some new members, obviously. And the album they created was so cool. I mean, it's probably my favourite Power Quest album. It's such a killer album. It's sort of got a more modern edge. The production is much better. It's not like extremely happy metal. It's quite happy metal, but not like over the top happy like they used to be in the old days. It's still, it's got a little bit of darkness to it as well. Very, very cool. In third place, well, technically they were formed in 1999 under the name Dragonheart, and I actually saw them as Dragonheart, but in 2001 they changed name to Dragon Force, and then they qualified for my list. And in third place we have the almighty Dragon Force. Now obviously they're quite a bit of a Marmite band. I mean, Dragon Force is like, I don't know, they've got their naysayers and they've got a lot of fans, and they are quite big now. I mean, they play in quite big venues. I saw them like towards the end of 2019 on the Extreme Power Metal tour, and they played to a sold out show at the Forum to 2,500 easy, no problem. I mean, they've had so many albums. They've had 8 albums since 2001. They're quite consistent. Every 2.5, 3 years an album. Very consistent band. You know, Dragon Force doesn't really change. The odd minute change, sometimes the odd heavier song, sometimes the odd slower song, but in general they stick to what they know. I mean, catchy, fast paced, video gamey, melodic, speed power metal, you know, with lots of flashy note filled solos. I mean, they must have the most note count of any power metal band in existence. I mean, obviously this is what counts against them in some cases. Like some people's opinions, like they'll say, well, Dragon Force, every song sounds the same, every song is warp speed. But okay, you can say that, but to me there's great melodies in there as well, especially vocally. I mean, the previous singer, ZP Theart, he was really cool. I mean, I think I prefer him to Mark Hudson. I like Mark Hudson, but I'm not saying Mark Hudson is not good. He is good, but I don't know. I think they were better with ZP. Although the new album that they released, Extreme Power Metal, is just an awesome album. It's very melodic. It's like it's probably their most melodic ever. I mean, it's got some really, really cool, catchy songs. And of course, they've got all their hits in the past. You know, Fury of the Storm, Through the Fire and the Flames. They play 1,000,000 times. So there you have it. There's 2 bands left. What 2 bands are ahead of Dragon Force, you ask? Well, in second place is Primitai, formed in 2003, completed 5 albums. A very cool traditional heavy power metal band, not completely different than Dragon Force, not speed fixated, just classic heavy metal fixated. Their last 3 albums are all amazing. Rise Up, Night Brings Insanity, and The Calling. The first couple are okay, they're good, but the last 3, especially Rise Up, which is my favourite Primitai album of all, it's just an awesome album. Very cool vocals from the front man, great guitar playing, great riffs, great songs, just superb. I mean, Primitai really I've seen them numerous times. They're always supporting around the London scene, playing a few headline shows, smaller shows, and always supporting bigger power metal bands that pass through town. You know, always on the bill somewhere. You can always catch Primitai. There's such a cool bunch of guys as well. I've talked to them a few times, a little bit, not too much, but a few times. They're cool guys. And who is the best power metal band since the start of the millennium, you ask? Well, I don't know. I just had to give it to these guys. It started in 2010. It's a side band of Mr. Chris Bowes from Ailstorm. Yes, you've guessed it. It's Glory Hammer. They've released 3 albums, each one better than the last. The first one was a great fun album. Very cool vocals from the Mr. What do you call it? I forget his stage name. Angus McFife. It finally came to me. He's got his own name, obviously, but he's an Austrian guy, I believe. His name is Winkler, Thomas Winkler, I think, something like that. Yeah, very cool singer. The music is awesome. Chris Bowes, he knows how to write power metal. I mean, I don't know if he's writing all the music. Maybe he is. I think he is anyway. Obviously, he plays keys. He goes by the name of Zargoth Thorax in Glory Hammer. I've seen them, I think, 4 times. 3 headlining, once supporting. The last time they headlined, they were so awesome. They were on their most recent album, which is their best album. It's so cool. I mean, but all 3 of their albums are amazing. They've gradually got better with every one, and they've got different concepts, although they're sort of like a theme flowing through them. The characters are the same and so on, and the band is just cool. They're very tight, very melodic. The songs are just amazingly catchy to me, Glory Hammer. You know, it just makes you forget about everyday things. Power metal is where it's at for people wanting to forget about things. Anyway, that's it. Let's have a quick rundown. 10th place, Neuron Spoiler. 9th, Sellsword. 8th, Storm Zone. 7, Dark Forest. 6, Dream Troll. 5 is Savage Messiah. 4 is Power Quest. 3, Dragon Force. 2, Primitai. And 1, the almighty Glory Hammer. Only 3 albums released, but makes my #1 traditional power heavy metal band since the millennium. What say you?